Today on the show, I'm lucky enough to be joined by the one and only Shelley Wade. You got what? From who on Instagram? That sounds disgusting.
It's what I call a horrifying nightmare.
Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
I'm joined again, because I'm a lucky individual, by the one and only Shelley Wade.
Hey, AD.
We were just listening to Green Day.
Yeah, we were.
You like Green Day?
I like them, yeah. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Green Day fan you'll ever meet, but I like them. I think they're very unique. I mean, I know they got a lot of their influence from, like other groups, but I like them.
I like the that song we were listening to, Brain Stew. Mm-hmm. You know what that's about?
I'm assuming maybe being high or something.
So, Billy Joe Armstrong has had well-publicized difficulties with substances. He checked right into rehab after cursing everybody out at our iHeartRadio festival. You remember that?
Did he? No, I didn't hear that he did that.
Oh, man, it was one of the first ones. And it was, honestly, it was kind of punk rock because, I think he was getting kicked off for Justin Bieber, and he's like, they had a clock on the wall that told him how long he's got, and he's like, this many minutes, F you, this many minutes, I've been doing this since 1988, F you, and he smashed his guitar on stage and stopped it. I know.
I love that.
So okay.
They're get off stage for Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And he's like, not gonna take it.
And it was really, really funny because all of us in the rock community, this is a little inside baseball for radio folks, but a lot of us in the rock and alternative community kind of feel like the redheaded stepchild because
you mean the rock and alternative radio community, or the okay, got it.
It's just all the good prizes, all the good stuff. Everything always goes to the stations that play Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber and all this sort of stuff.
They do.
And then we had Billy Joe Armstrong, Green Day, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, a band that's made a massive contribution over the years, and they cut him off for Justin Bieber, and he was like, no, F you people, and smashed up the stage. And we knew it was bad, but part of us was just yeah, you tell him.
Listen, in Justin Bieber's defense, his fans are more likely to buy a bunch of stuff than Billy Joe Armstrong's fans. I mean, just speaking, they're more active about what Justin's doing, while, us older people are kind of I might get around to it.
Well, the Green Day will sell. I mean, they'll play.
I'm not saying they don't sell. I'm just saying Justin Bieber's fans are more active, and they're probably, if Justin says to do something right away, they're probably going to do it a little quicker than Green Day fans.
But these are some interesting musical economics. Mm-hmm. Green Day fans grew up going to music stores, having saved up their babysitting money, purchased a cassette or a record or a compact disc, struggled with it to get it out of the shrink wrap, put it in their little Discman that they had mounted on their dashboard because they saved up their allowance money for that too, and then listened to the music. They grew up buying music. Bieber fans grew up going, music is free. We don't buy it.
Yeah, but if Bieber said buy it, they'll buy it. It's you hear what Ariana Grande's fans have done. They conspire to not, buy one of her singles so that her other single can make it to number one.
Really?
So yes, if Bieber says buy something, his fans are going to buy it. Yeah,
I guess
they're used to getting their music free, but if they are believers, they're going to actually go out and buy his stuff. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. We grew up, purchasing music and not getting it for free. Unless you were of the Napster generation.
No, or LimeWire and Kazaa. That was my jam. I was like, oh my gosh, it's free. Then I felt bad doing it because I was actually an artist and I realized I was taking money out of people's pockets. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm selling blood to make rent. Why would I do that? Because it's just if you're downloading, I think that was part of the whole thing where Lars from Metallica was like, this is the same as walking into a store and stealing our music when you steal it online. And it might not have been the right way to go about it, but when he said that, I was like, Lars and Billy Joe and, people like that, they're going to be just fine. But there's lots of bands that really kind of rely on every unit sold to help them recoup so they can get to a point where they are making money off their music.
Listen, I've never been a fan of just getting, people's music or movies or anything for free. I'm not a fan of that. And nor do I promote it. I never have been. I was never like a Napster kid, and nor have I ever gotten anything bootleg. I'm just not that person, because I know that there are real people behind that who are trying to pay their rent, who are trying to buy food and raise their children.
Yeah.
I mean, same with people like, look, I got this bootleg movie. You want to come over and watch? No, I'm not getting the Fire Stick. I'm going to pay for this movie.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't do any of that stuff.
People are actually, there are people working. There are people behind those movies and stuff. And I'm not like a goody two shoes or anything, but how dare somebody think, I don't have to buy that. It's free. These people work really hard.
Yeah.
And then also to come up with, creative ideas for things, especially when it comes to music, unique, beautiful music that just lights up our lives and makes our lives better. You just think that the hard work they do with coming up with creative stuff and then slaving away and making that music and recording it, that it's okay for you to take it for free? No, that's not okay.
You darn right it's not okay.
Sorry, I got off on it. Sorry.
No,
that's not. I just have never been cool with that.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to me how pervasive it is, and how people just feel like they have the right to take other people's hard work. It's like you said, if someone goes into their office every day and they're working hard to make a living, and then someone goes, "Oh, I'm going to take your salary." It's the same thing.
It's funny. Like, I think a lot of that has really sort of exploded since the birth of social media like Twitter and things like that, because so many people will copy and paste what other people say and then tweet it out like it's their own. And it's interesting. I had a little run-in with, this is the weirdest story ever, most random story ever, but I had a little run-in with a fake Cat Williams account.
You mean the comedian Cat Williams?
Yeah, but it wasn't really him. It was, how there's all these parody accounts on Twitter for a while?
How do you have a run-in with his fake account?
I'll tell you. And this is where it gets interesting, because before I was full-time in radio, part of the way that I made a living was I worked as a writer. I wrote for Modern Luxury. I wrote for Maxim. And so I understand the value of the written word. It's like, hey, I don't get paid a lot, but whatever it was, $250 a page or however much I got paid to write articles for these magazines, it was what helped me keep the lights on and stuff. And so once you put it up on the internet, it becomes a lot easier to copy, paste, and take from you and do things with. And it was very interesting what happened when I noticed this account, a fake Cat Williams account, stealing my tweets, like copying and pasting my tweets and stealing them. But it gave me a very interesting insight into how this is monetized, and we'll talk about that next.
Okay.
Real radio. 104.1.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
So yeah, I was having my tweet stolen by fake Cat Williams, which you so pointedly...
It's like, of all comedians to have, like you have the fake. Why couldn't it have been like
fake Dave Chappelle?
The fake Dave Chappelle.
Or fake Will Ferrell. There's lots of fake Will Ferrell accounts out there on Twitter. It's just like, I couldn't even get my stuff stolen by a top tier fake. Not that I don't like Cat Williams, but he's not packing him in like fake Dave Chappelle is. But so like, I noticed a lot of my tweets were being tweeted verbatim by fake Cat Williams, the
that
account.
happened to me on MySpace. No, sorry.
No,
am I dating myself? Yeah, I just remember one day, I would just, for me, it's not important to try to be like everyone else, or I'm gonna. Oh, they say this is popular. I just kind of like, I just want to be again, not trying to be like a goody two shoes or perfect, but I just want to express like who I am, you know? And so I never think that, somebody's going to come and steal whatever I'm posting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm being me. You're
Yeah.
not me. So why do you want to post my stuff? And so I just remember one day this person had commented on something. And so I clicked on their page and I saw everything that I had been posting on MySpace. They had copied and posted it on theirs. And I was like, excuse me, why are you posting and who are you?
Yeah, it almost
Why-
feels like identity theft.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I didn't know the person, or I may have known them, but people have fake accounts and could be anybody hiding behind those.
Sure.
So it could have been someone I knew.
Yeah.
But it just felt like I felt violated. I'm like, not that I was posting important stuff on MySpace, but it was just my stuff.
Yeah, hence the name MySpace.
Exactly.
Not your
This
space.
is my
Shelley
space.
Wade's space.
So the fake Cat Williams.
What it did was give me an interesting lesson into the economics of
No,
fake.
you have to tell me the run-in. What happened?
I will tell you
I
the
want to
run-in.
know the run-in.
But it taught me how the economics of fake Twitter accounts work. I was like, why are all these parody accounts? And then a lot of people follow them, thinking that they're the real thing, or then they see that they're tweeting out amusing stuff, which, as it turns out, they've taken from me.
Yeah.
And so they follow them anyway.
So they're just taking everybody's stuff that's funny because they can't be funny.
Yeah, they're joke thieves. Like that guy, the fat Jewish, he got in big trouble for stealing people's jokes and memes and stuff like that. Oh, he's like this huge celebrity. He's done it all off the backs of other people's jokes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Comedians hate that guy because
I
he
didn't
basically
know that.
used them to become his
He
own
did
sort
get really
of
popular.
Yeah, and
I didn't know he was stealing other people's stuff.
Oh
though.
yeah, he's a noted joke thief, and internet joke theft is a whole different level. But so I direct message fake Cat Williams. I was like, yo, I don't make money off of this, but I'm guessing you do somehow. So chill, or or else. I don't remember. I think you can file like a DMCA thing, and this
Okay.
account had a lot of followers. It was close to 1 million followers.
Wow.
And
And I was going to say, do you really expect to get like a really like a meaningful response from fake Cat Williams?
Well, because I was like, I'm going to report this, and they didn't want to be reported because this is their bread and butter. They're
Yeah.
like, sorry about that. I'll stop.
What?
And can I make it good with a couple of free tweets? And I was
What?
like, wait, free tweets? And he was like, yeah. And like the account sent me his rate sheet, and it was like $50 a tweet to mention your name or whatever it was. Like, and I was like, okay, now I'm kind of interested and hooked in. Don't leave my stuff alone, but whatever these fake these tweets are that you're going to give me for free, okay, I'll bite. Fine, hook me up with some fake tweets, and I won't file a complaint. Or not hook me up with fake tweets, hook me up with free tweets, and I won't file a complaint. And so fake Cat Williams, with his like 1 million or so followers, tweets out something like, Thank you. Follow this funny ass white boy. And then pointed like a little arrow pointing at my thing. Boom. Had like 75 followers. And he did that 4 or 5 times. And I got like probably 300-400 followers out of it just because fake Cat Williams said to follow me, and he has like 1 million followers, the account has 1 million followers. And so I was like, oh, I get it. What you do is you steal other people's material so you can build up the numbers on your account, and then you can charge to promote stuff through tweets at $50, $100, however many dollars a pop. And I was like, I understand the economics of it. And that really kind of made me go, oh, damn. There's people stealing other folks' intellectual property. It's different from when you were taking stuff off of LimeWire and Kazaa and Napster and all that stuff, but it is theft of intellectual property. It's theft of something that somebody else created, and they are monetizing it themselves. And that's, it's not cool at all. But
I forgot to ask you, I don't know if you told me or not, how did you discover that he was stealing your tweets?
I think I followed him. I was like, oh, I follow fake Cat Williams, haha. And then I just saw tweets. I was like, that seems familiar. Yeah. And it's like and they like followed me back as well. Like they followed me. I think I followed them.
So it was after they followed you was when they started stealing your tweets then?
I think so.
Okay, got it. They were like, oh, this guy, he has some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've
that's probably what
that, like, there's so much that's not organically real on all different kinds of levels on social media. And it's weird that a lot of people are getting all of this like they'll get hired because they have so many followers on social media.
Yeah.
But a lot of it isn't even real. It's like what's the word I want to use? I can't think of the word right now.
A shell game?
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
It's a house of cards.
Well, let me tell you why. Because you'll have these people and you'll go to their page and they have like, let's say 50,000 followers and they're only following 200 people.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't even know who this person is. Why do they have 50,000 followers? Because a lot of these accounts will go then and follow people.
Yeah.
And then the people will follow them back.
Yeah.
And then they'll unfollow the person.
Yeah.
And the person isn't aware that they have been unfollowed. But these people go around just following people and getting, what do I say? Refollows? No, not refollows.
Follow backs.
They get follow backs.
Yeah.
Thank you. So they'll follow someone, get follow back. And then after they get the follow back, they'll unfollow that person.
Well, I think there's
and so they end up with 50,000 and this, and they're only following 200.
Yeah.
Because they've unfollowed a lot of people. It's not because they're so popular. It's because they've followed and unfollowed.
Yeah.
And so it's really a sham how a lot of these people are getting jobs and money, like you said, to tweet things out when it's really an optical illusion.
Yeah.
And I've had people, offer me, up your following. Like someone sent me a couple of emails recently on my iHeart account. It's probably the same person.
From the same person that
Probably.
said that. I was like, I meant to report that because it was somebody, and I don't want to back the bus over them, and I can't remember their name, but it was
I'm not going to say anybody's name,
but it was someone that said, I work for iHeart.
Yeah,
I can
and they're
sell
trying
you
to
a
get me
service that
to-
will up your Instagram followers.
Yeah, so
when you come to negotiate your next contract.
That's exactly what I got.
Yeah, it's a form letter.
They're like, they said to me, just so that listeners will know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They said, listen, I see that you only have this many followers on your Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's so important these days to have a higher number of followers. So, you may not be able to negotiate your contract well if you don't have as many followers. And so, I will help you get your following. Here's how it works. These are real people who will follow you back.
Oh.
Here's how it works. And if you want this many followers, this is how much it costs and that many followers. And I started to reply to them and I go, no, this is not worth a reply. Cause I'm like, first of all, I'm already re-signing my contract and my bosses didn't look at my followers and go, oh, you don't have enough followers. We don't want to sign you.
Yeah.
My bosses, thankfully, have a better opinion of me than how many followers I have. But one of the things I love about the people who do follow me on social media, I may not have 50,000 followers, but the people who do follow me want to follow me. And I appreciate that a lot more than having fake followers. I don't find any value in fake followers.
So dumb about this. Like I know a guy in a band who I shall remain nameless, but are reasonably successful, who bought followers on Twitter and Instagram.
A lot of people do.
Bought followers on Twitter and Instagram, and then did it thinking that he could sell the products that he, like his line of guitars or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, no one's buying it. I was like, dummy, that's because these aren't real people. These are bots. You paid for someone to artificially inflate your number.
Some people may be real people. Some of them are bots. Some people may be real people and they may be getting paid to follow you. But the problem with paying people to follow you, you give them money, but that doesn't mean that they won't unfollow you. It's ignorant.
Yes.
And for me, I don't really, I focus on growing my social media organically because of course I want people to follow me because you want people to be an audience of what you want, but I only want people who want to follow me. I don't really feel compelled to pay people to follow me, so if you find what I'm giving to be interesting, then yay, keep following me. If you don't like what I'm doing, then you probably shouldn't follow me. With that said, you can find me on Twitter at Shelly Wade, and don't forget Shelly spelled with an EY, Wade as in Dwayne Wade but without the money.
And can I say your Instagram handle? The one and only Shelly Wade.
Yeah, at the one and only Shelly Wade, and of course, my Facebook page is All the Rage with Shelly Wade. Hit the like button, if I can talk. Hit the like button on that, and thank you in advance for the follow because you want to follow, not because I'm paying you.
Yeah, she's nice. Follow her.
For more stimulation and less irritation, 9 out of 10 doctors choose KPRC AM 950, Houston's more stimulating talk radio.
Don't get the blues, get all the news. We mean all of you guys out there in Radioland.
All aboard!
He's back. AD on the radio.
Give it up, yeah. Give it up, yeah. Bring this on, come on, come on.
So you and I both got this same email from someone who purported to work for our company, offering us an opportunity to buy Instagram and Twitter followers. Do you think they're really people that work for our company?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because it was like, it didn't come from, oh gosh, I don't think it came from a company address.
No,
Like,
it didn't.
It was
but
like,
they wanted to clarify it.
Yeah.
They'd sent me an email at first, and then I didn't reply because it's like you said, it seemed spammy.
Yeah.
And I don't reply to spammy emails.
Yeah.
and then so I guess they figured, oh well, I'll try again and because the first time they emailed me, they didn't say that they worked for the company, and so the second time they thought they'd say, oh well, let me let her know that I work for the company.
Yeah.
That'll, persuade her more. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's someone who worked for the company. I mean, but it's not the company putting
No,
them
it's
up
not the
to
company,
it,
but
know?
like that seems
But
like a
it's-
great way to lose your job really quick. Like you're
Yeah.
using your full name, and like anybody who's smart enough.
I
like,
just don't think that I mean, some people don't think on those terms. They don't think, this is inappropriate. They think, okay, this will, if I say this will convince someone.
Right.
A lot of people don't listen. You and I have had our careers for a lot of years where we take our careers very seriously. We may have fun and say silly stuff and post silly stuff, but we're career people. We're very serious
yes,
people
I'm a
in our
career
business.
person, yes.
And we know, or at least I would think that I would know better than to do something that would be detrimental to my career like that. I think in those terms, but there are a lot of people, we don't know how old this person is. There are a lot of people just starting off in the business and thinking, oh, well, I'll take advantage of this, this pool of people. You're not thinking of it in terms of this is something that is not appropriate.
I thought that, and you're right, it could have been someone young that didn't know any better, or someone new that didn't know any better. But my only thought was like, there's no way this is the real person. Whatever spammy company that is doing this looked up a position in the company, said, okay, we'll just call ourselves that, sent an email from an address that looked kind of similar to their name. And I was like, either they did that, or it's someone who either knows they're getting fired or knows they're going to quit. And it was like, I'm just going to make a chunk of money off of the talent here at this company on my way out the door.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could be either. It could be either a person who works for the company or someone who doesn't, who did that whole, underhanded thing.
It's interesting, though, because I have never bought followers, but I've talked to people that have done it.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anyone who's, well, I don't want to say I haven't talked to anyone who's bought followers because they could have, and I just don't know. But I've talked to people who said, oh, I have a friend who bought some followers. And so I know that it's out there. And listen, people think, it's a game you have to play because if people are making serious decisions based on the number of followers you have, whether it's a real person or not following you.
So, like,
people feel like it's the game I want to play.
I have a buddy that works over at Fox, and he said, look, if I've got two candidates for a job, if I got two candidates for this job in television, if one of them has a YouTube page or is really good on Twitter or is has a lot of views on YouTube or a lot of followers on Twitter or a lot of, something going on Instagram, they're going to get the job over someone who is equally as qualified with less of all the digital bells and whistles, because this is the age that we're in, and this is the age that we're going further and further into. So people hiring managers do look at that stuff. So it's interesting.
Which
because
is, it's unfortunate, and in a way I understand it, because this is the age we're in. But the unfortunate part of it is they're not checking to see how is this person getting these followers. Is it in a legitimate way, or are they buying followers, or are they following and unfollowing wondering, how are these people getting these followers and these views? Is it all their family and friends, or is it legitimate? We don't know.
I liken it
and so
to steroids.
They should probably do research before they make that decision instead of just looking at the number. Right?
I liken it to steroids in sports. And like on the one hand, I think the idea that anybody would use PEDs in sports is ridiculous. But then you look at, I remember once I read an article, and I can't remember which team the person played for, but they had a breakout season. They just killed it. And then they signed their contract. And they went from being in a situation where, okay, my life as a major leaguer might not work out, and I might have to, figure out what to do next and get a day job. But they had this incredible breakout season. They got a contract to where if they are careful with their dollars, they never have to worry about money ever again. And they also have a family. They've got a wife and a kid. And then they got caught using PEDs. And you know what they got for the PEDs? Like an 80-day suspension or an 80-game suspension. And that's it. And then they had it made financially, and they were still playing Major League Baseball. And so on the one hand, I think it's a horrible thing. But on the other hand, you see stuff like that and you go, I understand how this happens. If you've got a guy that's got family responsibilities and they're looking down the barrel of the worst that can happen if you get caught is an 80-game suspension, but you're still going to get an amount of money that will last you for the rest of your life, I could see why they would risk getting caught and doing that. And it's a horrible thing, but I kind of liken people who buy followers to athletes that use steroids. Like it's fake, it's inflated, it means absolutely nothing in the long run. But at the same time, you are probably going to make some more money. And if you've got kids or some serious bills to pay or whatever, I see how it happens. But it's interesting because I have some friends that bought followers, and they're not broadcasters; they're guys in bands. And
did it help them?
No, and it was stupid because they're like, we bought followers thinking they would be real. We bought YouTube views thinking they would be real and help spur something on.
Oh, you can buy YouTube views?
You can buy anything you
know
want
that.
digitally. Oh yeah, like I think YouTube views
Why am I
must
being
be
so
one of the
naive?
They must be one of the easiest things to game. And anytime you see and I do this all the time because bands will go, man, our song's blowing up on YouTube. You need to check it out. And if they've got 5 songs posted on YouTube and one of them has 5 million views and all the rest have 250, I'm like, yeah, it's just this one's really caught fire, hasn't it?
So you don't think maybe just that many people love the song?
Maybe that many people love the song, but that would translate into people subscribing to them. That would translate into
that's a good point.
Other things. There's other ways that
a good point. There are other ways to gauge whether this is real or not.
Yeah,
right?
and I think they can cover their tracks and have a situation where they fake it and they fake it a little better. But the instances where I've been, approached by people that say this band's, YouTube video is blowing the hell up. You need to think about playing it on your radio station. Whenever it's been that, it's been pretty easy to go, this smells rotten. This seems fishy to me. And but it's interesting because the people that I know that bought views and things of that nature genuinely felt like it was market. And I don't think they thought of it as buying views. They paid an online marketing company. And you know what? That's common practice.
They don't know what the marketing company did.
Yeah.
They just know.
Yeah. They essentially paid for clicks and impressions and all this sort of stuff and people driving traffic to their things. And they think they're putting their hard-earned dollars into some scrupulous in-the-know online marketing company that's going to target people that are into that type of music and send them to your thing. And really, it's just a bunch of bots playing. It's just a bunch of bots with YouTube accounts playing your stuff over and over again. Yeah. And I felt bad for the guys in the band because I was like, "What? You spent your money on what?" They're like, "Online marketing." I was like, "There's online marketing, and then there's online marketing." And one of them will do you no good whatsoever. The other one is actually probably a pretty sound investment.
I don't know. For me, again, it's not this trying to be too goody two shoes, but and again, I'm not a person that's completely into astrology or anything, but I do think that there's something to when you're born a certain time or whatever, you have certain personality traits and things like that. And I'm a Sagittarian, and for us, truth is very important. It's of a high. I place a high priority on that. I place a high priority on the feeling of being free and being truthful. And just when I say truthful, I mean true to myself, like just being true to myself, because I can't operate under like fakeness. I just really can't. It's just not in my being.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's the reason I wouldn't buy followers or because for me, I want to be authentically me. It's the whole Sagittarian thing. I want to be authentically me, and I want the people who are following me to be interested in the authentic me. And I don't want fake followers, and so that's what it comes down to me, for me not being a goody two-shoes, but to just be true to myself,
If only we weren't cursed with these burdensome morals. And
I know. Damn morals.
We'd be living in much bigger houses and driving nicer cars, Shelley Wade.
Now, more AD on the radio.
So one of the other pitfalls of social media, Shelley Wade, is that sometimes listeners feel, I think, occasionally like you're public property. Because radio stations are community things. The best part of my job, I think, is being a part of a community, being a voice in some cities, being able to add a little value to someone's day, take away some of the monotony or boredom or unhappiness when they're commuting, whatever the case may be. That's the big win for radio.
For me, I always say, I just want to be a blessing to someone today that I come in contact with, whatever form that may come in. I remember one time giving a listener a prize. I thought it was a really small prize and it wouldn't mean that much. And she literally started crying. And I asked her, what were the tears about? And she said that she had just been having such a hard time in life. Every day just hit her with something hard. She was having health problems. She lost a parent and then just winning that prize signified to her that her luck was turning around.
That's really nice.
And so I always feel like when I wake up in the morning, I would like to be a blessing to someone today in whatever way, whether it's, something I say on the radio or whether it's someone I come in contact with in person, I just want to, because I know, especially since my dad passed away, and I know I'm going off on a tangent and I apologize for that because we're talking about social media, but, since my dad passed away, I have just been, this whole, you're trying to find like, what's the meaning of it all, the purpose of it all,
Sure.
like you love someone and then they're gone and then you're heartbroken and you got to go to therapy and it's just all so confusing and so for me, I just have figured, and of course I don't have all the answers. Of course I pray and everything, but you don't have all the answers. But what I have determined is that because I don't have all the answers and I never will, the most that I can do is try to be a blessing while I'm here on earth.
Oh, wow. That's a very good way of thinking.
The most that I can do is be a blessing while I'm here on earth. And, of course I fall short of that so many times, but I try to remind myself of that being my goal and the way that I feel like I can make a positive difference on this earth while I'm here.
Yeah.
And so that's what, for me, when I'm on the radio every day, that's what I'm hoping. I try to be like a bright spot, like you said. And so, for me, that's what it is. But your point was?
Well, it's just occasionally, like all that stuff is really, it's great. And it's the reason why we continue to do the things that we do. The part about being a part of a community that can get a little sticky sometimes is people start to feel like you're their property. It's sort of like sports teams. Like, you remember when Matt Schaub was having a lousy season for the Houston Texans and people were showing up on his lawn and burning his jersey? It's just like, this is garbage. Cut it out. What are you thinking? This is not an elected position.
This is his personal
your
life.
taxes don't pay his salary. I know you feel a certain amount of pride because it's a football team, but ultimately this is nothing to do with you. How dare you? Get out of here. And there's a certain amount of that comes with radio where people find you to be because you're part of the community, find you to be sort of public property. So occasionally, like you were describing, they can do wildly inappropriate things to you on social media, as you just said. The guy sent you a picture of him.
Yeah, I was telling AD this off air.
And I decided to take it to the airwaves. Lucky you.
I cringe to think about it, though. But I was last weekend. Someone had DM'd me. They slid into my DMs.
Oh, they slid into your DMs?
Yeah. And it was a listener from my station in LA. And I actually thought it was, because he was referring to something I was talking about, one of my coworkers participating in the LA Marathon that day. And then his comment in the messages was, "Oh, it was nice for you to shout her out. I saw her." And then there was a thing that said picture. It was a picture attached. It said play. Yeah. And typically I don't click on things. I just don't click on things because I know it could lead to bad things. I don't know who sent this. I don't know what their intention is when they sent it. So I typically don't click on things. But I just assumed that, okay, he's talking about the LA Marathon and he said he was there. So I'm clicking on this. Oh, maybe he's sending a picture from the marathon. I can reshare it on my Instagram.
Not a picture from the marathon.
Sadly enough, not. And I cringe thinking about it, like I said, because it was a picture of him. Looks like he was lying in bed. And
are you looking at this picture now?
No, I'm not, because I deleted it really fast because I didn't even look at it for 2 seconds because it was just so offensive to me. He didn't show genitals or anything. But
he didn't? No, I was going to say, like, way to shout out your coworker on the air for running the marathon. By the way, here's my junk.
Yeah. No, thank the Lord he didn't do that. I definitely would have reported him, and I should have reported him, but I was so fast trying to mute his messages that I would never see it again. But anyway, it was like some picture of him, like he had the picture, the camera up above him as if that was going to make him sexier or something. And he just had all this hair. Like he was like, I don't know, Bigfoot or something. It was that much hair. And he was just like, he didn't have clothes on, at least he didn't have clothes on his torso.
So the lesson here, folks, is if you're going to send naked from the waist up selfies to Shelley Wade, manscape first.
Please, no. Just but like, even if I would have been attracted to him, I still would have been offended because I don't know you. Yeah. This is not an appropriate. That's not something that's attractive to me.
Do you think he did it on purpose? Because it just makes no sense.
Yes,
you'd be like, hey, way to shout out your coworker.
Of course he did it on purpose.
Yeah?
Of course he did. And I was really offended. I felt violated. I really did.
I put that right up next to, and you're right, it was a horrible thing for that guy to do, and he was wrong to do it, and it's a form of harassment, and I'm sure you could get
I should have reported him, but instead I just blocked him, but I should have reported him because I was very offended.
To me, that's right up there with guys that honk car horns at girls as they walk by. Like, you idiot.
What am I supposed to do with that?
But then the weird thing is, like, enough guys do this ridiculous stuff that I think it probably one time worked for one guy somewhere, and the word spread that if you send shirtless selfies or if you honk your car horn at women as they pass by, it might all work out for you. And I can't imagine that it ever have, but I did. It's so unbelievably moronic and dumb for this
nobody's offended at someone being attracted to you, but if you are doing something that's moronic, like you said, as a way to express that you're attracted to someone, it's not sexy and it's not cute. I remember one time recently, it may have been last year or the year before, I was driving around Houston and there was this, a food truck on this corner, and I was stopped at the light. And this guy at the food truck, I looked over and he's looking at me and waving at me. And then he starts gesturing for me to come over there. I was like, what? I started looking around like, this has got to be a joke, right? Yeah. Like, is he expecting me to come off the street and go talk to him at the food truck? I'm like, what is this? I don't understand. What am I supposed to be doing? What is this? I don't understand. Why is that sexy? Why am I supposed to? Why should I be moved enough to get off the street and come and talk to you at the food truck?
Well, this is where you have to...
I don't know you.
On the one hand, men are idiots. Like, this is the best that they've managed to do. I think Seinfeld had a bit about this. Like, honk of the car horn, things of that nature, cat calling. This is the best that we've managed to do. All these years of evolution, all these years of, courtship, and all these years of social norms, and this is the best we can do because we're idiots. But then, here's what's wrong about that guy sending you a shirtless selfie of him. And this is why, to me, it's harassment. Like, you said, even if you were attracted to this guy, you found this
I
guy
would've been
attractive.
offended.
It was, and I'll tell you why. Because he removes the element of choice from it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can see if I said, "Hey, I want to see how you look without your shirt," send that to me. But I didn't
No,
do that.
you did not.
I didn't do that. I know that's not right. I didn't want to see that when I clicked on that.
It's violating. This is the same reason, and it's not as bad as what you described, but this is the same reason why people got mad at you too for automatically loading all their music
I
onto
love
an
you
iPod.
too. I was mad at them
It's-
because
you-
I'm like, I don't want to open up my phone and your music is playing when I hit the wrong thing.
Well, no, it's a very
I was very
personal
offended
thing.
by that.
It's a personal thing, and what you're doing, and what Bono did, and what this guy who sent the hairy shirtless selfie of himself did, is remove the element of choice. People need to maintain the right to choose at all times. Shelley Wade, we are out of time. It just flies by when you're here, but I am so glad that I choose to have you on the show over and over again because you're just the best. Thank
And
you.
please don't ever send those shirtless pictures, please.
No, gosh, no. I never.
But I did see you one day, and you were trying to show everybody that you had lost weight. But I was like, I didn't know AD had all those muscles. AD's got muscles because you always have baggy clothes on.
But I didn't send it to you.
No, you didn't.
in a
You had posted it on your
my
social
Instagram.
media.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was my thing
But
about
sidebar,
depression
sorry.
and
Sorry,
weight
ran off
loss.
into
And
a sidebar.
yes, I am surprisingly muscular.